Today, I want to tackle a very important subject: how to prepare for a successful dating experience. I'm going to share a few things that you need to consider as you plan and think about getting into a romantic long-term relationship. Number one, it is very important for you to get to know yourself, because if you do not know much about yourself, what your fears are, what your dreams are, your goals in life, the vision of your life, the things that make you thrive, if you don't spend time in that, then you might find yourself connecting with individuals that are not compatible with you in ways that you are not even aware of. I was listening to a speaker talking to young people, and she said you need to answer 5 questions. Who am I? Where did I come from? What am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there? So if you are able to take some time to answer those 5 questions, it will help you to start the journey of getting to know yourself. When you're thinking about that, you will discover some of the things that you have gone through, and allow yourself to make sure that you resolve some unfinished business, especially with failed relationships, including the relationship with your parents, the relationship with your siblings. If you do not resolve some of these gaps that happened when you were young, what will happen? Your romantic relationships, without you knowing, they will be a way for you to heal the wounds that you have carried along due to the experiences you've had in life. To identify, among other things, the woundedness of your soul, the woundedness of your emotions, your fears, your insecurities. Know these things and take a journey of self-healing, because when you do that, you start off dating from a healed position. You're not going to be looking for individuals who are going to heal the wounds that were perpetrated against you when you were growing up, or even in your young adult life. That causes us to ask the question, what age should you start dating? You will find a lot of suggestions about that, but myself, I really want for you to look at how healthy you are as a person. Are you okay with being yourself? Do you try to hide from experiencing yourself because either you are ashamed of yourself, you have low confidence, you have gone through some things that have not been healed yet? Now, let me identify one pain point for most of us that we need to deal with. Number one is father wounds, where you had a father who was not available, who was not present, or you had a father who was violent, father who was really judgmental, or he drove you hard and he was very authoritarian. If you experienced a father like that, he may not have meant any harm to you, but you need to look into yourself and see whether that harshness and that kind of authoritarian way of being, whether it hurt you, whether it caused you to question yourself, to question your person. Because that, if you are not careful, whether you are a man or a woman, what will happen is that you go into other relationships, now you are romantic relationships, and what happens is that you are triggered, and when you are triggered, you will treat your partner in a way that you are projecting all the pain that you have carried, or discouragements you have carried, feelings of betrayal, feelings of hurt, and you carry them into this new relationship. The other person has no idea. So what happens is that you find that you are constantly fighting, but you don't know what you're fighting about. The other wounds that you need to heal are your mother wounds. And when we talk about mother wounds, we might talk about moms who are very controlling and they were overbearing, they shouted a lot, they called you names, and you never felt safe with mom. But mom was a nurturer. So you grew up not knowing whether really mom loved you or didn't love you, because you experienced both things in the home. And so you want to make sure that if you came out of a home where you felt that you were not completely accepted, and this is your experience, it's not necessarily that that's what they intended to do to you. It is an experience you had and it wounded you. If you struggle with those memories and you struggle with questions about whether you were important to any one of your parents, then you need to go through a process of self-discovery, which leads to self-awareness and leads to self-healing, so that you can be a healed person when you go into romantic relationship. The other thing that you want to look as you do your self-awareness process is also to look at your very first romantic affair. What happened? You need to be able to identify that, because most of us, our first heartbreak left us wounded. If it left us wounded, we developed insecurity, fear of speaking up. We have this belief we are not good enough, or that we are victims, or that people are out to take advantage of us. And so at the very slight trigger of any kind of maybe judgment or misunderstanding, you go into fight mode. And so you yell, you will throw things, you will accuse. If you are struggling with things like those, then you know that you are not ready to do a successful dating relationship. When we have been wounded and then we find love, the first expectations we have of this love relationship is that this person will never hurt us. So when they do something that causes you to feel hurt, to feel disappointed, to feel betrayed, you lose a lot of hope and you lose a lot of faith in relationships, and you go either into fight mode or you go into hiding mode. There is also a lot of shame that is triggered by that, because then you begin to say, there must be something wrong with me. And once we enter into that space of shame, it is usually very difficult to have healthy relationships, because we are constantly questioning our worth, constantly questioning even why this person is with us. Somebody tells you how good you are, somebody tells you how much they love you, and you don't believe it. Why? Because there is a woundedness that happened long time ago, some hurts and pains you have carried and you haven't healed them. So even when someone tells you that they are there for you, you cannot be able to trust them. If you go through a process of healing, you will be able to identify the real you, not the one who has developed coping mechanisms to survive. So you can present to the world the authentic you. I love doing that for individuals because I went through the same thing for myself. You can reach out to me. I would like to take you through a process of 8 sessions of self-healing. I do that personally. It's me and you. We walk through that journey, and by the end of it, you will be a better person and ready to be able to be in a relationship, creating healthy interactions. So if you have any questions, if you would like to know more, please reach out to me, and may God bless you and continue to live by design.